Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So, sister, you may need to go into the dark to actually find the light. This is so freaky. I'm actually inspired by my own post to talk about this right now. I'm recording this podcast as I'm driving Kai home from daycare. Hey, Kai, you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. There's Kai in the back seat. We're going to still use the F word because that's how we roll in this family. But here we go. So I posted something last night, and this was after like extreme frustration with our oldest son, Tyson. He's almost 6, and he teases Kai every day. Does your big brother Tyson tease you sometimes, Kai?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does it make you feel when he teases you? How do you He teases me. Yeah. So we're seeing this pattern where Tyson is teasing Kai like every day, to the point of it makes Kai scream and cry, like it hurts him, right? And you know, I started to run the story of like, oh, it's the big brother, little brother thing. Like, it's just the way it is. But no, like, it's every day now. And I can see that he's literally like picking on him, bullying him, whatever you want to call it. And so I got very frustrated about it. I went to a very dark place about it last night and was talking to Ed about it and what's wrong with us and why can't he see this, and trying to talk to Tyson and trying to create like punishment and consequences. And none of it really seemed to be kind of like getting through to him. And so I wrote this post, which maybe I'll put the link in the show notes to it here on my Facebook page. Literally, like in bed, it just kind of came to me last night, where it was just like, you know, we are often so afraid to go in that place of darkness. It doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. We somehow judge it. We think that it's wrong to go to a place of dark, that we have to always be in the light. We have to always be happy. We have to always put a smile on our face. That sadness, anger, all these things that we see as dark emotions are like the bad emotions, that we shouldn't feel these things. Emotions are emotions. You feel what you feel. They're not good. They're not bad. They're not even light or not even dark. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to say... You don't want me to do this episode right now? Mommy's inspired though right now, Kai. Can I finish this? Okay. Mommy be 3 minutes. The challenges of doing a podcast in the car with your 3-year-old. So yeah, we label these things, and we somehow think it's bad to go to that place of darkness. Like, we should always avoid that. We should always be happy. We shouldn't ever feel these things. But the reality is that we do feel these things. And my belief system says that there is a purpose and a reason to go to that place of darkness, that we cannot avoid it. See, there's no way for us to see the contrast of the light if we don't know what dark is. There's no way for us to know happy if we don't know what extreme sadness is. Now, I'm not saying that good things only come out of dark spaces, like somehow go to a place of darkness and really go deep and go really heavy, because you're going to have light. You're going to have, lightness. You're going to have happiness at the end. That somehow that's the only way to get to light, or to get to the things that truly make you happy, by going to a place of darkness. But what I am saying is that there's light to be seen at times, and it requires that we go to a dark place. It requires that we do the deep work. We do the work by Byron Katie. It requires that we run a positive focus. It requires that we actually see reality for what it is. And it requires sometimes that you just might have to sit in your shit for a day. Now, if you hang out there for a long period of time, I'm going to have to come over and find where you live and slap you, because now you got to stop it. But darkness is not a place that we should avoid. Sometimes you need to go into the dark to find the light. I did a similar podcast this. I just realized as I'm recording this, it was something like, sometimes we have to experience the bad to feel the good. But I'm going to almost kind of like, rescind that podcast episode, because I don't think it even needs to be seen as good, bad, dark, light. I'm going to call it this for this episode. But listen, sister, in this really short podcast, I want you to hear this one message. Do not be afraid of the darkness. do not think that you don't have a dark side to you. And that's not just because my oldest son likes Star Wars, and we dig Star Wars in our house, the dark side, the light side. You have a dark and light side to you. Star Wars was pretty fucking profound. Still is. You have a dark and a light side. Embrace it. It's every single piece of it is you. The human experience is to feel all of these things. It's the stories that we run about these things that mess us up, not the things themselves. It's the thoughts that Byron Katie would say that we attach to these experiences, these words, the way that we see the world that causes suffering, not the thing itself. So here's your more tip for today. What is some emotion that you've been feeling? And, for a lot of women that connect with me, a lot of my clients and women that get on the phone with me, that apply to coach with me, the feeling they feel they shouldn't feel is anger. That they suppress that thing, they hold it back, they squash it. And I'm going to encourage you with this more tip today is to give yourself permission, give yourself a day, or maybe it's just an hour, maybe that's all you need, to feel that thing that you want to feel that darkness. Journal it, do the work, run a positive focus on it. See the lesson. There's something beautiful to come out of this. Just like I know there's something really beautiful that's going to come out of this experience with Tyson teasing his brother every single day. And I don't know what it is right now. There is a time and a point then too, as my coach actually just coached back to me and said, just surrender to this right now. Right? Surrender to this right now. Is it tough to see my youngest little guy teased by Tyson? You bet. Do I have a story that somehow, brothers should get along and there should never be any fighting? Yeah, I kind of hold on to that fantasy a little bit at times, for sure. I want to see my boys get along and play. But give yourself some space to really feel those things. Because it might be the only way for you to get to light is to experience this darkness, sister. So if you don't already subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter, I want you to head over to my website. Hold on, buddy, almost done. Dr. Karen Osborne drkarenosborne.com is the website address, drkarenosbur.com. There's a couple places to actually register for the newsletter. So you can enter in your name and email. We'll get you hooked up on that. You will hear from me daily. Yes, daily. All 3 podcast episodes will come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday with all the show notes, resources, and links, as well as everything Women Want to More. Be part of the sisterhood. Videos I put out there every single week. Maybe posts I put up on Facebook that I feel are important ones to share with you, or just posts that I write all together. Plus, all the information about my upcoming book, the Women Wanting More live events. Currently, 3 spots are now open for the live event coming up in October as I record this episode. All the master classes, and really to be part of the Women Wanting More sisterhood and tribe. So make sure to head over to drkarenosborne.com, get hooked up to the newsletter with that today. So I will talk to the next episode, sister, and just know that a life of more is one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you. Can you say I love you, Kai?
Love you.
There you go. The love from Kai.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.